And one of the functions that we have on the County Commission is that we review appeals from the Metropolitan Planning Commission. We do zoning changes, and this issue comes up all the time. And I've noticed that we're in a dilemma is that some of us who are very green, and I'll leave someone out, I hate to mention names, but Mark Harmon and Tony Norman, myself, when we have to approve certain projects that the MPC have looked at, you have this dilemma of green versus high-density housing. Now, ideally, what you would like to do is to put 6 or 7 condo units per acre. And then that way you preserve more green space because we're not going through this urban sprawl where everyone wants their half acre of green grass. And it just seems like it keeps going and going and going. But the dilemma you run into is that people don't want to have the high-density housing next to their subdivisions. And I've noticed that how the voting goes on the commission frequently is that even the most green people like Tony Norman and Mark Harmon will frequently vote against the high-density housing because there's a lot of complaints from the neighbors. They don't want that type of housing adjacent to their neighborhoods. So do I have an answer for this? No. Do some of the other people who are very green-oriented on the commission have an answer? It doesn't appear to. But I think it's something we definitely have to look at. I believe it was a couple of years ago that USA Today said that Knoxville was number 8 or number 9 in the country. Now, this is negative for urban sprawl. And all you have to do is to drive out to West Knoxville and you feel like you're just about you're halfway to another state by the time you get to the county line, and it's subdivisions and city the whole way.
Right.
And you think about the development and the sprawl. On the one hand, you know, the property values increase when a home's, you know, if you build a $500,000 home, then you're getting more property tax than you are from the field. And because of our revenue shortfalls or our potential shortfalls, we need the development. And there has to be a long-range plan. And it seems that MPC and others create long-range plans and then modify them with some frequency when different pressures are applied. But there are some other ways I think we can be green in the 5th District. Being someone that likes to walk and ride a bike every now and then, there are quite a few bikeways and walking trails throughout the 5th District. And I had someone the other day at one of my rallies say, we really need sidewalks. Now, sidewalks after the fact, after homes are built and businesses are built, are extremely expensive. And this was a young couple with 3 little boys, and they just love to get out and bike. And they said, well, at least crosswalks, you know, across Middlebrook, across Cedar Bluff, you know, and the buttons where you can, you know, control the lights a little bit and a little bit of a longer of a red light, just so we can get out and do what we enjoy. And where we have to cross busy intersections, you know, a little paint would create a crosswalk, and that would actually help people be a little more green. They might get out and walk more. So there are things we can do. We just have to be innovative. You know, we have to study the issues. We have to listen to the folks, to the constituents about what they want, and they have some really good ideas sometimes.
I don't know how much time we have left. I want to give each of you an opportunity to give your little last-ditch spiel for yourselves. I hate to call it that, but just, you know, what you want a voter to take away about you. And I'm going to start with you, Mr. Briggs. And you may want to direct it at the camera.
Okay. Well, finally, my name is Richard Briggs. I'm a cardiac surgeon here in town. I mentioned earlier my experiences as a military officer. I retired as a full colonel in the United States Army. I commanded troops in Afghanistan, Baghdad. I was in Egypt during the Somali operation and also in Operation Desert Storm. I've been a deputy commander of a unit that controlled all of the medical troops in the southeast United States. I believe I bring a wealth of experience to the county commission that really no other commissioner has. As far as my vision for the county is, I think the county government has 2 very important functions. One is educating our children, and the other is providing for public safety through our law enforcement. One of the issues that I'm very proud of that I fought for down there was for a pay raise for the school teachers. We were not successful, but as far as I'm concerned, that is the top priority for next year. And secondly, when there were attempts to cut the sheriff's budget, I fought to maintain the funding for the law enforcement officers so they'll have the resources they need to protect us. I was very proud of the fact and very humbled that both the Knox County Education Association and the Fraternal Order of the Police of Knox County endorsed me for election in this election, and I think it was a recognition of my efforts in those two areas. And just as a final word, we live in a very beautiful region, and I think with the resources that we have here with Oak Ridge National Laboratory, with TVA, the University of Tennessee, our good public school system, with the right leadership, we can make that breakthrough that we need to go from becoming a good American city to one of the greatest American cities. And with our low tax base and climate, we can be a place where people want to come to develop their careers, to raise their families, and to retire. Again, my name is Richard Briggs, and I'm the Republican candidate for the Commission 5C seat.
Mr. Sproles.
Thank you for the opportunity, Catherine. I'm Don Sproles. I'm the independent candidate for County Commission seat 5C. I look at this opportunity as one where we can bring some qualified folks together on commission to work hard to create the greatest community that we can. I think as an independent that I will have the ability to be divorced from the political factions that have created a lot of the problems that we currently have, and hopefully be the person who can bring folks together cooperatively, not only across county lines, but the city and the county, to work together towards the betterment of the community. We have so many opportunities here. As someone who has lived in the county since '74, my wife and I have had a successful business here together. I've been an attorney here in this town. I've been active in the community already through the Knoxville Transportation Authority, through Volunteer Ministry Center, through Habitat for Humanity, through the Diocese of East Tennessee. I have the experience and the education that I think I can do a good job if you give me the opportunity, and I would ask for your support. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. You guys are good.
We just,
Serious all day. I've been impressed with everyone.
we just sit here
It's
and
like,